To our PVM e-learning channel, and I hope you all are doing well and are safe, happy at your places. Once again, I welcome you all to our class, and we are studying and have been going through the lesson, the cop and the anthem. Today we are going to complete this chapter, the cop and the anthem. We were at page number 31, and what we learned from this lesson is all about the character Sophie, who is a vagabond who does not have or who does not have got his own place, his own house. He is homeless, and he is living the life of a wanderer, a vagabond, and he is planning to get arrested so that it is assured that he would, he it is assured that he would get his own food and shelter at the prison. So let's start, and we were at, I think, paragraph number, I think on page number 31. See, the second last paragraph we were at the conjunctions of Sophie's respective state of mind and the influences about the old church brought a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. He viewed with rising horror the pit into which he had tumbled, the degraded days, unworthy desires, dead hopes, wrecked faculties, and base motives that made up his existence. So he started thinking about his old days, that his state of, his receptive state of mind, this consciousness, right? And the present condition, both the things were happening and occurring, taking place in his mind. He started comparing the present situation with the old one, how the days were, in his past, how the life was, and how happy he was when he was with his mother, right, with his friends, and so many plans and ideas and desire to have something, to achieve something in life. So everything, he remembered at once. And then we come to know about that also in a moment his heart responded thrillingly to his strange mood. A strong impulse moved him to the battle with his desperate fact. So it was kind of, dilemma, that what was happening with him, he was not able to get that how the life had changed, and the change had come over upon him, and how could he, how could he move right to this wrong paths of life. So he was not able to understand how this could happen. Certain things, went in his life, and now he was, a kind of, criminal, right? And who had committed crime, who had been in prison, and many other wrong things he had been doing in his life. But now suddenly the change came over him, and he understood his mistake, and he was now going to change everything at once. He would pull himself out of the mire and would make a man of himself again. He would conquer the evil that had enslaved him. There was time, he was young yet. So he immediately decided, when he heard, that the notes being played on the instrument, the organist was preparing the anthem for Sabbath. It was completely familiar to Sophie also. In his childhood, many times, he would visit the church. He had gone through all the religious practices that being performed in the church, and everything reminded him about his old days and the life that was full of happiness and joy. And he was really, you know, got completely right, uh, cured with this the musical notes played by the organist. He understood that how the life was, and he understood even the difference between the life he had in his childhood and the life he was living now at present, right? Because how he was happy in his old time, okay, in his old days he was very happy, okay, and full of enthusiasm, full of hopes and energy, right? And had even plans to do something special and different that would make him to get identity in life. The people would know him, okay, as a good person. But now he was just simply trying to get away from these worldly problems. He had no, hope left in his heart to do something new in life. So that everything was now torturing him, and now he understood his mistake and now decided to pull himself out of this mire. Mire means daldal. Let me see. Yes, great. The students have joined, and yesterday we were here only. Yesterday we were here that the sudden change, the transformation, right? He felt in his heart, and he even felt about that how deep and down he was, getting down into the pit. He felt in his heart, but now he realized his mistake and wanted to get out of this difficult situation, mire, a complicated situation that is very difficult, okay, and it is very difficult to come out of this. So he decided that he is still so young to fight against this all the worldly problems and the challenges coming in life. So he decided to come out of this mire, these difficulties and the problems that he was surrounded with. ओके. सोफी हा खूप काही अडचणीत असा गुंतला होता आणि खूप असा खोलवर असा दलदलीत गाडला गेला होता. त्या दलदलीतनं, त्या अडचणीतनं, त्या निराशेतनं बाहेर निघण्याचा त्याचा तो अट्टहास, झटापट ती त्याला जाणवत होती. And would make a man of himself again, and he decided that he would try to improve his ways of life. Okay, he would try to improve all his the things he was involved in bad activities. There was time, and yes, he understood, आणि सोफीला हे कळून चुकलं होतं that he was having enough time even then. आणि सोफीला हे कळून चुकलं होतं की त्याच्याकडे खूप काही असा वेळ होता सुधारणा करण्यासाठी ना. And to conquer, he decided that he would conquer the evil that had enslaved him. That have enslaved him. तो आता गुलाम बनून चुकला होता कसल्या या घाणेरड्या वाईट गोष्टींचा. अडचणींना सामोरं न जाणं, चोरी करणे, खोटं बोलणं, भीक मागणं, या कोणाच्या आश्रयाला जाणं, या सर्व गोष्टी ज्या त्याने केल्या होत्या त्या गोष्टींचा तो जसा काही गुलाम बनला होता. द थिंग्स दॅट हॅड मेड हिम slave or enslaved him, these all bad negative things or the things he was involved in, the criminal activities and all, he decided to stop that at once and live a good life, a better life, right? And he wanted to set himself free from this slavery, of these bad criminal activities. आणि या सर्व वाईट गोष्टीतनं बाहेर पडावं असं त्याला वाटत होतं, या गुलामीतून मुक्त व्हावं असं त्याला वाटत होतं. There was time, he was young yet, and yes, he felt he was having enough time and he was still so young okay, full of enthusiasm. If he want, okay, to change his life, it was possible for him to do that. He would resurrect his old eager ambitions. Resurrect means revive, okay. If you want to resurrect, you revive it, you replenish it, you revitalize it, you breathe new life into yourself, okay. जर तुमचा जर ती आशा असेल, उमेद असेल, राईट, आणि तो संकल्प दृढ संकल्प असेल, इफ यू हॅव दिस डिटर्मिनेशन, then definitely you can do anything, okay. Everything is possible in life, okay. Nothing is impossible, right. सर्व काही शक्य आहे जर आपण ठरवलं तर. आणि हेच या ठिकाणी सोफीला जाणवत होतं. ही फेल्ट इन हिज हार्ट दॅट ही वॉज स्टिल यंग, okay, and he would replenish, he would try to revive everything once again. He would put life in that, okay, into his ambitions, and pursue, will try to achieve all the things that once he had imagined in his old time, in his childhood. आणि ज्या सर्व काही गोष्टी त्याने आपल्या बालपणात इमॅजिन केल्या होत्या, ठरवल्या होत्या की असं करावं, मला हे व्हायचं आहे, मला असं करायचं आहे, या सर्व गोष्टींना पूर्णताचे रूप देण्यासाठी, या त्याला पूर्ण सत्यात उतरवण्यासाठी आणखी त्याच्याकडे वेळ होता आणि तो करू शकला असता, करू शकतो, हे सर्व गोष्टी त्याच्या मनात आल्या. आणि ही फेल्ट इन हिज हार्ट दॅट इट वॉज पॉसिबल फॉर हिम टू डू इट ऑल्सो. And that too without faltering, without losing the confidence, without losing that determination. And he decided that hereafter I am going to lead a life that would be, the virtuous life, okay, the path of, the path of virtuousness, okay, right, righteousness, right, path of virtue or righteousness. You can say that I will lead the path that everyone would love to have this in life, and that too without faltering, without losing and feeling weak and losing the confidence and determination. तो दृढ निश्चय, तो विश्वास कुठेही त्याला धक्का न लागता मी या सर्व गोष्टी अचीव करू शकतो, आणि हे शक्य आहे अशी धारणा सोफीची बनत गेली. तो विचार करू लागला. आणखी तो यंग होता, त्याच्याकडे खूप काही दिवस होते आणि त्याला काही असं अशक्य नव्हतं, आणि हे त्याला कुठेतरी जाणवू लागलं. ही फेल्ट इन हिज हार्ट आणि ही डिसाइडेड दॅट ही वुड चेंज एव्हरीथिंग, ओके. अँड दो solemn but sweet organ notes had set up a solemn. Here means that holy, right? The पवित्र ते गाणं, okay, the anthem, okay, played by the organist had brought complete change upon Sophie. It was very ceremonial, it was holy and sweet organ, okay, organ notes had set up a revolution in him. Or set up revolution means had brought complete change in Sophie. That anthem, the song the organist was playing. Tomorrow he would go into the roaring downtown district and find work. Where is that roaring? The roaring downtown. So he decided that he would go to the city, the place which is full of crowd and the noise, and the people come there for their dealings, their businesses, and he would go to that place, the crowded place, and would ask for some work, and somebody already had offered him some job, okay, a work. What was that? A fur, let's say, importer had already once offered him a place as driver. And he decided that he would go to that shop, and the man and definitely would love to join the work, okay, as a driver. And he would be somebody in the world, and definitely when you decides, okay, when you decide to walk the path of righteousness, okay, virtue, definitely the people you get place in the world, in the society, people would know you that you are something if you are doing and performing your part in this life. Okay, obviously that should be accepted, right, by the society. And he decided that he would start working. Okay, and he found that the life is not life living like this, depending on other, for their charity. Okay, and asking for shelter and going to the even prison and living the life enclosed in the four walls. That is just living for the sake of living. आणि सोफीलाही कळून चुकलं होतं की याला काही जीवन म्हणता येणार नाही. दुसऱ्यावर अवलंबून राहून, दुसऱ्यांकडून एक्सपेक्ट करून की मला खायला मिळेल ना, झोपायला व्यवस्थित व्यवस्था मिळेल ना, जेलमध्ये जरी गेला असता तरी त्याला त्या भिंतीत त्याला जीवन गाठावे लागले असते ना, खर्च करावे लागले असते, राईट. That was not life at all. He understood, life is, the life that when we face challenges and we have the hardships in life, and then we taste the fruit of everything, like, ups and downs keep coming, and then you learn, get many more experiences, and you start living your life. That is the real life. And Sophie felt a hand laid, an arm. He looked quickly around into the impassive face of a policeman. Okay, and somebody was standing behind him. He had laid his hand over his shoulder, right? And the man, when he looked behind, what did he see? He saw a man, a policeman, and his face was cold, serious. Okay, and he asked him, "What are you doing here?" asked the officer. "Nothing," said Sophie. "Then come along," said the policeman. 3 months on the island," said the magistrate in the police court, the next morning. And what do we see here? We see here he was taken, to the court, and there, right, the judge, right, had given him sentence for 3 months, right. He was sent to the prison. Okay, he was punished for 3 months imprisonment. Okay, and sentenced to the prison, right. So what do we find here? And ज्यावेळेस सोफी तेथे फक्त या सर्व विचारात गुंतला होता, अचानकपणे पोलीस मागून येतो आणि त्याच्या खांद्यावर हात ठेवून विचारतो, "काय करतोयस?" And he said, "Nothing." Actually, more is given in the story, right? But here it is clear that he must have argued, or the police might have taken this for something wrong, as if he was loitering there. Loitering means moving around, okay, in the place without any purpose. And if you are roaming around, moving around in the certain campus and premises, and and the premises is not for like this people to stay around, okay, without any purpose, then you are committing an offense. आणि त्या प्रिमायसेसमध्ये तिथे काही उभं राहण्याची परवानगी नसावी, आणि हा तिथे असाच उभा होता, आणि त्या कारणाने पोलीस त्याला घेऊन गेला. ही माईट हॅव आर्ग्युड ऑल्सो, त्याने काहीतरी चर्चा पण केली असावी, परंतु पोलीस त्याला कुठल्याही त्याचं ऐकून न घेता किंवा त्याची काही चूक नसताना त्याला पोलीस घेऊन गेला, आणि यावेळेस मात्र त्याला अटक झाली आणि त्याला 3 महिन्याची सुद्धा शिक्षा सुनावली गेली. सो हियर इन दिस स्टोरी वी लर्न अबाउट द टाइम, द irony of the situation. I have been telling you, okay, since we have started with the lesson, okay, from the beginning only, I have been telling you that this story involves Okay, the device called irony. Okay, and we had learned about irony. What we expect, it is exactly opposite to that. Okay, something, you know, opposite. Okay, what we think that this is going to happen, but exactly opposite to that. Okay, happens unexpectedly, right? So here in the beginning, what we see, that Sophie wants to get arrested first of all. Okay, he was waiting for his arrest. He was so eager. He wanted to get arrested by the police. The cop would come and arrest him, and for this purpose he was committing many petty offenses also. What did he do in the beginning? He tried to enter a luxurious cafe. He ate at a restaurant. He broke the window of the shop. He, at the same time, he had also, started shouting like a drunkard in the marketplace. He had also tried to, steal away the umbrella of a person. Okay, so many things he was doing, so that the police would take notice of this and would and take him to the prison. But that was not happening. And when the time comes, okay, he got to the place, okay, nearby the church, and he heard about that Sabbath anthem, right? He got completely overpowered by the good ideas. Okay, a sudden change came over him. He got completely transformed, okay, into a good human being. His heart melted, and he decided that, okay, this is not life. Life is not like, okay, depending on other, and expecting everything from other, right, without doing anything, and getting away from these hardships of life. That is not life. Life is what, you have to struggle, you have to face the challenges and go through number of difficulties and challenges in life and learn out of it. you know that gives the real sense of life, the real purpose of life. Through that we learn many more things, and then that kind of feeling would make you feel the joy of life. Okay, so overpowered by good ideas. Then suddenly, when he heard the notes, the musical notes played by the organist, that changed his heart, and he remembered his old days. Now, how in his childhood he was happy with his mother and friends, and he had so many dreams, okay, to fulfill ahead in life. But everything had changed after that. So he makes his mind and he decides that this is not life, and he decides to change. He decides to change his mind and find the good job, and also start to live and lead a happy and respectable life. And how do we live happy and respectable life? By doing and living honestly in this society, right? Doing something and living our life honestly. Okay, so here, and what will happen, this is the irony in the situation, irony of the situation, or irony in the situation. What is the irony? When he was planning to get arrested, no cop comes to him and arrest. His arrest did not take place in the beginning, and however and whatever the way he tried to get arrested, but that did not take place. Okay, he tried hard for this, but no cop came to him and arrest him also. Okay, nobody came. But when he changed his mind and decided that that he must live the life of the respectable person, right? He must find the ways of life, okay, that would be the path, okay, that would lead to the honesty, and that would lead to the righteousness, okay, and the virtual life, right. So here he decided to live a good life, but at the same time, when everything was decided and he was to change everything, okay, suddenly what happens? the policeman come. Okay, this policeman comes to him and arrested. So this is quite change. What we had expected that now he would become really a good person, but at the same time he got arrested. Okay, he got arrested, and that is what the abrupt, you know, abrupt ending that we come to know in this story. Means what the writer is known for this irony, and what the writer is known for, the tears. Let me get that. Yes, smile with tears, smile with tears. Here, you laugh in the beginning, but at the end, when we come to the end of the story, we realize that how difficult it is for people, and when they get to their end in this way. Okay, and this is what the story is about, cock and the anthem. And we also learn about the irony of the situation, or situational irony. Here what we had expected, he would now lead the life of, or lead the life of happiness, and the respectable life he would lead after this, but that did not happen. Exactly opposite to this has taken and has happened in this way. So students, I think 3 minutes, we are having 3 more minutes. Let's go with this also. Fine. We will also discuss one more thing, that the ending is abrupt, as we have discussed already, right? Discuss with your partner. Let's go with this brainstorming activity. Discuss with your partner and find out the different ways in which Sophie tried to get arrested. The first one is given. Okay, let's try with this. Okay, what were the things, okay, he was doing in order to get arrested? The first thing, he tried to enter a luxurious cafe. It is already given. Okay, second, he also come to a second restaurant. He ate stomach full food items. Okay, he relished on that and declared that he would not pay, or he did not have money for paying even a single penny for the items he had relished on. Third thing, he had broken the glass of a window of the shop. And fourth, that we come to know about this, he began shouting like a drunkard in the public place. Okay, and fifth, also he had stolen the umbrella of a person. So why was he doing that all? In order to get arrested. He wanted to get arrested anyhow, and he had tried every possible way for this. Okay, so the first activity, in this way you must be able to write down all the things he had tried to do in order to get arrested. Second, describe the atmosphere when Sophie reached near the church. How it is given here. You can come to the page number 31 and see how it was the atmosphere there. See, we come to know that it was an old church, quaint, means that was very old, and rambling and gabble. Through one violet stained window, a soft light glowed. No doubt the organist loitered over the keys, making sure of his mastery of the coming Sabbath anthem. Okay, so the atmosphere we have to talk about. So the moon was above and full and radiant, and vehicles and pedestrians were few. Sparrows twittered sleepily in the eaves, or a little while the scene might have been a country churchyard. So this is how the description is given. So that shows that how the atmosphere was there at this church, or around the church, and that atmosphere, that condition had brought change and transformation in the life of, or in the heart and the life of Sophie. Thank you very much. We will stop here, and if possible we will continue with the same lesson doing all the activities, or let decide later that what would be next, okay, to do in the next period. Thank you very much. We will stop here. Thank you student for joining the class.